Just got my new Vanford, and this is going to be my new finesse setup. And yeah, you best believe, I got a new rod to pair with it. This is a Witch Doctor Tackle Sandman rod, but more about this coming up soon. What's better than an all murdered out rod? Like, this is a sick combo. And of course, because this is going on my finesse spinning setup, I do prefer braid, and I'm going to be using this. This is a Seaguar PEX8 Lure Edition, so it's a super thin braid. But what's more important here is actually not the 21-pound test line, it's actually the number underneath it, diameter 007. Now, if you compare this to other American brands like Suffix or Power Pro, 007 millimeters is like 8-pound test equivalent. And when you're spooling up any reel with braid, that can be a baitcaster or a spinning reel, you do want to have some kind of backing. I'm going to go to some mono backing just to kind of fill up my spool, because the one thing is with a spinning reel is that you do want to fill it just to the edge of that line capacity. If you don't know how to tie an arbor knot, there's a lot of great YouTube videos out there that can teach you. And as you can see, there's the knot right there with my mono backing. Now, I'm not sure if you can see this, but on most spinning reels, you kind of see there's a little line here at the base of your spool that kind of tells you what's halfway of your spool. So I'm going to go pretty much up until that point and fill my spool with that much line. Now that I have all my mono backing on there, I'm just going to cut the line. Now I'm just going to connect my mono backing to my braid with a uni to uni knot. You don't have to use any knots that are too crazy for connecting your backing line to your main line, just because I really shouldn't ever get to the point where I'm spooling myself out till my backing, but you never know. But a uni to uni knot is pretty strong in itself. And the most important part when it comes to spooling braid on any reel, a baitcaster or a spinning reel, especially thinner braid like this, is that you want to make sure to put a lot of tension when you're winding that line onto your spool for the first time. The reason for that being is that if you go too loose on your winds on your spool, when you catch your first big fish, that braid is actually going to dig into the spool itself, and then the next time you go to cast, it's going to be stuck in there, and then either it's not going to cast as well, or it's going to snap your line. Now there's two ways to make sure you put a lot of tension on your braid when you're spooling it onto your reel. You can use a tool like this, or you can put a pair of Crocs on, put a stick in between the holes of the Crocs and then your spool, and then really make sure you're pressing down on that spool to make sure it's not spinning too fast. And now with a good amount of tension on my line, I'm gonna just start winding this braid all on here. Now my spool is all spooled up, and this pink line is really mint on this reel. But as you can see, I filled this spool right up into the edge, not overfilling it, but just barely, so there's just the tiniest bit of space between the edge of that spool and the line. The reason for that is now when I'm casting, the line is coming off more parallel with the edge of your spool and making sure your baits can fly really nice and free without catching the inside of your spool. Now my new finesse setup is all set up, and I can't wait to go fish this thing. So what are you waiting for? Get out there.